Creatures of the night, we have come together again to discuss the saga of the New Japan G1 Climax 35, Night 12. We are finally where things are definitely heating up. We got some people that are officially eliminated, and we got some tens across the board as well. I wish I had did like predictions and throughout this whole thing, and I actually just haven't really had like actual predictions. I just have people that I would just prefer to see win, and like my only pick really that I would prefer to see actually win the whole thing is Takeshita. But other than that, I've just been enjoying the thing, but not necessarily like predicting in terms of where things may go with the actual tournament. Because what you want to see versus what you predict will happen are two different things. Let's talk about the tag matches. These are typically skippable, but we still discuss them since it does kind of, let you know in the direction of where we're going next. So we have our boys from the United Empire, Cullum Newman, teaming up with Jacob Austin Young to go against Taichi and Masatora Yoshida. Our boys from United Empire ends up taking the win. Not bad for an opening match. Our next tag team match, we have Oleg Boltin teaming up with Toru Yano to go against Evil and Dick Togo. Despite all the cheating and Don Fale being out there who should just lace up boots and get in a motherfucking ring, our boys from the House of Torture do not end up taking the win. So like I said, whenever the tag matches, it just pretty much a little bit of a teaser in terms of what you're going to see next. So what we're going to get is Oleg Boltin to go against Evil, and that's not going to be fun for Oleg, but at least he knows what he's up against if he's been watching this entire tournament. Now after this, we have Sonata teaming up with Yoshinobu Kanemaru to go against our president, the only president that we acknowledge, President Tanahashi and Katsuya Morishima. House of Torture once again with the win. And you know what? I am annoyed, but it's whatever. I don't know if Sonata's going to be able to take a win one-on-one with Tanahashi for night 13. But I wonder how things are going to play out in terms of, people from House of Torture attacking our president throughout the match. Like, I don't know. That should be the main. I want to say, is that the main event for night 13? Most likely, maybe the main event for night 13, but we'll see what happens with that. Now, our next tag match, we have our boys for TMDK, Rohei Owa teaming up with Hartley Jackson to go against Yuya Uemura and Sho Mikado. Our boys TMDK ends up taking the win. And for our dead last tag match of the night, we have David Finlay teaming up with Gedo to go against Yota Tsuji and Daiki Nagai. And our War Dogs end up taking the win. Now let's talk about the Block B matches because that's what I know everyone's here for. All right, Block B matches. I'll be honest and say only two of them I'll actually recommend, and the other two, just probably. I guess I'll say I just didn't give me what I wanted, but you go ahead and watch what you want. Our first Block B match, we have our boy Konosuke Takeshita coming in with 8 points to go against Yoshihashi, who also has 8 points. Yoshihashi, the first person to come in and get 8 points on the board. And it's the battle of who's going to get 10 points first. This was absolutely amazing. Takeshita, ever since he had that match with Zack Sabre Jr., you see he's been absolutely focused and like not taking shit from anybody. And I absolutely love the energy that he's been having. Now for this, he knows that if he takes the win, and especially to get the first 10 points, he's going to have to really put one over on Yoshihashi. And this was definitely one of the best matches of the night. Maybe second place, if anything. Yoshihashi, I kind of felt bad for him a little bit because I was like, I've actually enjoyed him in a tournament, but Takeshita, we're busy with Takeshita Yoshihashi. We want him to win, so it's nothing personal. Takeshita ends up taking the 10 points. First person to score 10 points in the competition. Now after this, we have the Great Okan going against Ren Narita. And since the Great Okan has gone against Zack Sabre Jr., it just has not been the same. That arm is fucked up. That knee is fucked up. and Ren Narita was Red D. Even though Ren had came out first, during Great Okan's entrance, somehow Ren, I guess, got out the ring, went through the crowd, and walked through the stage, down the ramp to attack Great Okan from behind. And literally from there, before the match even started, Ren pretty much was in control of things. At times, you can really see Great Okan seeming to be defeated, especially with those injuries that he has going on right now. And you can see the frustration. Like, he's really, really trying to last as long as he can, and it's just not working. Once again, it kind of seems like, okay, well, let's see how long I can, if I can at least get a draw, maybe that would help, because they both came into the match with 8 points. But Ren Narita, with all the cheating and everything else that's going on, and obviously the advantage of the Great Okan being pretty much fucked up coming into the ring, he ends up taking the win, and he also has 10 points. After this, El Phantasmo, one-on-one with Drilla Maloney. El Phantasmo come in with 4 points, and Drilla comes in with 8. Regardless of what would have happened, El Phantasmo is out. Regardless. And about 5 minutes, if that, I should count, because I'm sure it's like 5 minutes or less, El Phantasmo beat Drilla Maloney. What are we doing? What are we doing? This was kind of insane to me, because I don't want to say that Drilla had to win because he can advance or whatever. I know some people might look at it that way, because it's like, what was the point? Because El Phantasmo is still not going nowhere. So I get that, mindset. However, 5 minutes. If somebody who's already out of the competition could just beat you in 5 minutes, like, what are the rest of the guys that you're going against in the competition supposed to look at you as? Something about that I just did not like. That 5-minute thing for a semi-main event, y'all over here touting the thing. Oh, our next semi-main event, Drilla Maloney versus El Phantasmo. I was like, okay, it's about to be on and popping. Let me get my snack. And 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I just didn't like that at all. Didn't feel like any of the other semi-main events that we've had. Typically, I would say for every single night, these semi-main events have been at times even better, in my opinion, than the main event itself. And 5 minutes, I just did not like that at all. El Phantasmo has 6 points now, and he can't advance. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Now, those who are eliminated will still participate, but those people will be in the way, could potentially be in the way of what make other people not able to advance in the competition. Drilla Maloney still has 8 points, and he's still in the competition. And when the match was over, they obviously show like graphics on the bottom of the screen of who the next opponent is. And when I seen his next opponent was Zack Sabre Jr., I said, you know what? Pack it up, Drilla. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. And with that being said, Shingo Takagi versus Zack Sabre Jr. in the main event. Best match of the night, obviously. Shingo coming in with 6 points, Zack coming in with 8. Zack said the other day, I'm not fucking around. I am playing with y'all. I'm going to win this motherfucking competition. And honestly, I believe him. I believe him. Not the way I want it to go, but, nothing personal, Zack. Give me a call. This was actually really great. And Zack knows that this is just like Shingo. I can get his ass out and worry about less people catching up on the board by getting him out. Shingo puts up a really great fight. But he's not looking good. And Zack knows all the weakness. And I'm going to say this. I've said this before in other reviews or whatever, reviewing other promotions. When y'all wearing kinesio tape or y'all got yourselves wrapped up like a mummy and everything, this is, hey, my shoulder's wrapped up. Please hit me here. Please make this a target. If it was me and I was hurting, I wouldn't cover anything up, because I feel like that's like an easy target. You might as well just put an X on your, like, wherever you're hurting, so that your opponent knows what's your weakness. And that was so much of a focus for Zack. There was no way, shape, or form. I think not just myself, but most people watching thought that Shingo was going to win, and he didn't. Zack takes the win for 10 points. Shingo, even after Shingo gets pinned, and I don't even want to say pin, it was a bridge, but that's typical for Zack. He reaches over to pin Zack, like that feeling of, oh my god, I know I didn't just lose. The match is still going, right? Let me pin this bitch. It's like, no. This is what's called delusion, Shingo. You did not win. You can't cover him. The bell has rung. Very, very interesting. One of the better matches of the competition, but overall, Zack Sabre Jr. is not fucking around. Like he said, he's not playing with y'all. And after the match, he does his post-match interview. And he said, Shingo really gave me a good fight. He said he feels like his spine, it has fallen down into his asshole. And I was just like, oh, what does that mean? Okay. Zach, if you need somebody to bring the ice packs and give you massages or whatever in between matches, I'm not doing anything. Give me a call. I'm definitely available. Overall, I thought the match was great. The night itself, like I said, only 2 matches that I would actually recommend, and everything else was just like you could have missed it and you would have been just fine. We are how many more nights we got? I cannot remember how many nights was it total. But August 17th is creeping up on us, and we have 3 people with 10 points, and then we have several people with 8 points. And I don't think anyone else under that will be able to advance. Let me take a look at where we are with the points. Okay, so for Block A, for 8 points, we have Evil, Yota Tsuji, Yuya Uemura, Oleg Bolton, and Ryohei Oiwa with 8 points. 6 points, we have Taichi, Cullum Newman, David Finley, Sonata, and President Tanahashi. When I tell you, Block A is going to be, night 13 is going to be one of the more intense nights. I even though it hasn't happened, I can honestly tell you that I think it's going to deliver in terms of being one of the best nights, because we have, it's make or break type of situations where it's like the people with 6 can come up with 8, and we can even have this whole damn block in a tie, maybe. I don't know if that'll end up happening, but that would be really interesting to see if that would be the case, because, half of them has 8 and the other half have 6. We'll see what end up happening with that, because I know everybody's going to be hungry as hell to get up as far as they can. Now for Block B, 10 points, Takeshita, Zack Sabre Jr., and Ren Narita. 8 points, Yoshihashi, Drilla Maloney, Shota Umino, Great Okan. And then for 6 points, Shingo Takagi and El Phantasmo. So far, Shingo Takagi and El Phantasmo are out the competition, but they will still be wrestling those who are still in the tournament. And if they're able to beat them, I mean, they get the points, but they won't be able to advance anyway. And that will keep other people from advancing on to the tournament. Like I said, okay for tonight, just 2 matches that I actually recommend, but I know night 13, they are Block A, they're going to deliver. I am absolutely excited to see what's to come for night 13. And I'll see you guys then.